What's up, Libra? Welcome to your March 2021 general reading. This is going to be for you, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. But of course, it's not going to resonate with all of you guys, so definitely check out your other placements, okay, for more clarity or perspective or whatever, okay? All right, well, we're in Pisces season. Right off the bat, I do want to say, mind your emotions. Pisces is a very deep spiritual, emotional sign. It's very much connected to imagination and dreams and karma and spirituality. So this is a month where things might, people might be a little bit more in their feels. We as Libras are dealing with sixth house energy. So the main focus this month, Libra, for us is our daily routines. How is it that you are spending your time daily? How is it that you're being productive? Also our health, whether it's mental health or physical health. If you do not already have an exercise regimen or something, something where you're making sure that you're getting up and moving. It doesn't have to be something that's super high intensity, but if you do not already have something that you do consistently, this is a really good time to implement that. We are in the energy of Mars and Gemini, which that just happened yesterday. So Mars and Gemini for us specifically is about, really for us will be about broadening our horizons, right? It's ninth house energy for us, which is connected to that Sagittarius energy. So there's a lot of adventure to be had coming up in the next couple months. There's a lot maybe in terms of travel, higher learning, just being open-minded and like literally like broadening your horizons with that ninth house energy. So definitely utilize that. We also are going to be having a full moon in our sign at the end of the month, which is hitting obviously our first house. I wonder, because our last card is the Three of Swords, which had me a little bit unsettled. I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? So obviously we'll clarify that, but there might be some shakeups or some things in terms of relationships. But the main thing that I want you guys to know, especially with us being in Pisces season, hitting our sixth house, whatever it is that you incorporate this month, if you stay consistent this month, it has the potential to have really good long-term effects. Also with Mars now being in Gemini, you're going to be a little bit more social this month, which is great. It's where we live, right? Being a little bit more social, being a little bit more open. There might be a little bit more collaboration or that type of thing going on, especially in terms of business, which is really, really good for you. And yeah, new moon. New moon's happening on the 13th. It's going to be in Pisces. Trust your intuition. This month is going to require you to lean more towards your intuition than logic, which is what we normally naturally do. Although I will say Libras are low-key water signs, like we just are. But I do think that there's opportunity coming forward. There's potential to start some really good long-term things this month. And for everybody, that's going to be a little bit different. Now this read is a little bit all over the all over the place. There's we've got all the energies on the board. So we've got earth, we've got fire, we've got air, and we've got water. So there's that. If there's like, if you're looking for a specific message with a specific person, they're kind of all here. So let's just get into this, okay? Now, bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Wands here. Love the Page of Wands, especially if there's new things that we're trying to create or new things that we're trying to do, right? Page of Wands can be like a trusted friend. It could be someone that you meet that turns out to be someone who's really beneficial and helpful in your endeavors going forward. This also has a lot to do with travel. Again, we are in that ninth house energy with the Mars going into Gemini, which will be there until until we hit Taurus season. I think it like ends on like April 23rd or something. But there's a lot of adventure on the potential adventure here. Pages are messages coming in. There's a lot of good luck and endeavors that you are trying to put yourself in, right? Also with the Mars and Gemini, if there have been things that you have been maybe lacking in, or like especially in terms of communication, like let's say there's something that you've been wanting to say to someone, there's been conversations you've been needing to have, I think this Mars and Gemini energy will help with that. more than it did with the Mars and Taurus energy. That was really good for us, like getting a slow start and kind of looking at the details of things and being very meticulous and like moving forward securely but slowly. With Mars being now in Gemini, there's going to be like a boost, right? An energetic boost, which I think is going to work really well in our favors, okay? Now, start out with 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, and Queen of Swords. Okay. 3 of Pentacles, again, collaboration. This might be a time where you're meeting new people, putting yourself in new positions, being open to new things. 3 of Pentacles is very much about being open to new experiences, you know, meeting new people, socializing, doing good work. So if you work on your own, if you're an entrepreneur, this might be a month where you start doing some collaborations with other people, things that might really turn out to be quite successful. Going back to that 6th house energy of like, this is a time for like really having strong daily routines. This is a great time to, if you know, have close friends, you know, have accountability partners. It's so funny because I just love how things end up happening like astrologically in their time. Literally the day of the full moon in Virgo, which Virgo is that 6th house energy of daily routines and health and all that stuff, right? I felt compelled to like, you know what? I need to at least start every day closing the rings in my watch. And in order to make sure that I do so, in order to hold myself accountable, I started sharing my progress with my friends and my brother and my sister-in-law. Because I hate to say it, but if there's one thing that motivates me is I'm fucking competitive. I don't like people seeing me be lazy. I don't like people winning when it comes to that. Like if I know people are watching me and seeing what I can do and I have someone holding me accountable in that way, it's going to motivate me more than, oh, I want a flat stomach or something like that. You know, that's just how I'm built. So if there are goals that you have or things that you're trying to accomplish this month, it might be great to take on some accountability partners that help you to see it through in whichever way helps you, okay? We've got 10 of Air, which is 10 of Swords. This is Sun and Gemini energy. So this is the ending of something. This is the ending of frustrating times. I will say this month too, especially probably as it pertains to relationships, this month calls for some clarity. Now, again, I'm a little worried about that 3 of Swords, which I'm going to get to really see what that's going on with there. I don't know if that's like signaling a breakup or it's just some type of like maybe minor disappointment or, you know, some type of a secret or something coming out. But I do feel like this is a powerful month for Libras in terms of like, just feeling kind of motivated, you know, and not letting things or you know, certain routines or things of the past or certain people or just not letting certain toxic shit get in the way, which is really, really great. So we've got a 2 of Water, which is 2 of Cups, and that's clarifying the 10 of Wands. Now, aside from this 2 of Cups, I do want to say this 10 of Wands is really speaking to health. Again, making sure that you are incorporating some type of movement in your daily routine. That's going to be really, really important for you. And again, if you do that this month, it really has the potential to be long lasting and become more of like a daily, like a lifestyle change rather than, oh, I'm trying to be on a diet or, oh, I'm trying to, you know, work out for this month or whatever. So make sure that you're mindful of that. Long baths might be a thing for you this month because I do feel like there will be some like soreness with that. But also just making sure that you're taking care of your mental health and your physical health. Now, when we see the 10 of Wands, that is kind of talking about things being too heavy, maybe taking on too much. And you got the 2 of Water here, which is 2 of Cups. So that's Venus and Cancer energy. Maybe some of you guys are dealing with a Cancer. Make sure, you know, Libra, we really thrive on having the ability to be there for others, but make sure that you're not doing it at the expense of you, right? Taking on things that you can't handle or taking on more than you can handle or taking on things that just don't belong to you. Some of you guys might be having some troubles or some concerns as it pertains to relationships with that 2 of Water, because that is 2 of Cups energy. So there might be some things, actually, I feel like there are some things that maybe come up this month that you need to talk about. That's one thing about that Mars and Gemini. It's like if there are things that you've been putting off up until this point, it's gonna come out. Like it's gonna come out. And like I said, Mars will be in Gemini till into April. So there may be some communication that you need to have especially if it's with your lover. And, you know, it's better to let it out rather than taking on things that don't belong to you. Saturn, the world, is clarifying the Queen of Swords. So definitely this is about elevating. Definitely this is about, you know, leveling up, right? Whenever we get the world card, that lets us know that we've completed one major cycle and we're on to the next one. It's the last major arcana in the cards. Also, this is talking about travel again. So there may be some travel, there may be some trips that you guys are planning at this time. There may be some things that you're planning on doing, even if it's like a little staycation, something like that. But there is, again, with that 9th house energy being lit up with the Mars and Gemini for us, that's like our adventure zone, right? So that's really on fire, which is really, really good. 9 of Air. 9 of Air is that 9 of Swords energy of can't eat, can't sleep, you just got troubles on the brain type thing. You know, in order to avoid this situation, it feels like this Queen of Swords is going to have to come to the table. So I do feel like you guys are going to be having a sit down with somebody and gaining clarity about a situation. Now, I don't know if this is like, for those of you guys who may be in situationships, this may be the talk of like, yo, what's next? This may be having the, you know, if you're live at a distance from somebody, this might be, you know, the planning to coming together. But what I do love about the Queen of Swords is she's gone through struggles already. Like, she has been through the worst. She's been through the best. She's gone through all the things. Life has literally given her so much wisdom. And so you guys aren't just letting things happen, right? Like, things aren't just happening by default. Life's not just happening by default. This is about you guys stepping really in your power and saying the things that need to be said and moving in the ways that are going to be conducive to what it is that you want, right? Sometimes when you like somebody, you let all type of shit slide just because you're like, oh, well, no, you know, like wanting to see the best in a person. But this is whatever issues or concerns you've had with anything, I just feel like they're going to be called to the table, especially if it pertains to a certain relationship. Especially if you might be dealing with water sign person, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And of course, this doesn't have to be something major, but it could be something that's still present, right? I will say it feels like a lot of you guys have someone who really, really adores you. King of Cups, he's super loving. He's so sweet, so patient, so kind. He's artsy, he's creative. You know, he's emotionally intelligent for the most part, if he's elevated, which he usually is if he's a King of Cups. But this also might be, especially like, look at the King of Cups energy. Look at his face. He doesn't really show a lot. So like his emotions aren't going to be, in some ways, you know, they can be worn on his sleeve. But like if we're looking literally just at this card, he's got a poker face going on. So some of the communication may be surrounding that. Maybe you're dealing with someone you can't quite tell where they're at. So you're asking for clarity, like saying like, yo, so love languages, I kind of need words of affirmation, like something like that. But I do feel like there's someone in your space who adores you, right? Who looks out for you, who cares for you at a real deep emotional level. 7 of Fire. This is Mars and Leo. So 7 of Fire, this is a very defensive energy. Okay. Queen of Air. Okay. Yep. Cancer. Listen, specifically we're dealing with a Cancer. There might... It just feels like there needs to be some things that are ironed out and made very clear. You know, I feel like you might be coming to them and being like, hey, you know, Libra, when we get into our straight shot, no chaser mode, and to where the Cancer might, or the water sign, or just the person in general, because it doesn't have to be either one of those things, they're kind of like, yo, like you're a little bit abrasive. What is this? Because the 7 of Fire is someone who's being defensive. This is someone who's defending themselves. This is someone who's trying to speak their piece. So that is coming up here. But again, with Mars going into Gemini, I do feel like there are opportunities. Oh shit. I do feel like there are opportunities to have these conversations and find a way to be productive, but keep them kind of light. Wow. Okay. Ace of Pentacles is being clarified by the Capricorn card, which is the Devil card. So especially as it pertains to business, there's a lot of potential for new beginnings here, right? Sixth house is work. Sixth house is the daily. It feels like, again, like I said, if you guys are able to really implement strong daily routines this month, it's going to benefit you in more ways than one and down the road. So it's like all the hard work that you're doing and that you're putting forth, even if it's not directly related to your work or related to how you make money, somehow these things will compound and make things better. So like when I first started getting into reading self-help books, the first book I read was Compound Effect. And that's really about how like the little things that we do each day compound over time to something bigger. So if you're, being productive each day, then that ends up being, a big thing. If you're saving a little bit of money each day, whoa, at the end of however many months or whatever, it ends up being a big thing. If you're being lazy, you see how that compounds, right? So really a message about being very, 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 very on it and kind of having more discipline this month, kind of taking on that Saturn energy or taking on that Mercury energy of having like the discipline, because I feel like you guys have opportunities that are coming your way, right? Some of you guys might also be dealing with a Capricorn. If you are, it feels like they are someone who sees like a long-term situation with you. If this is a relationship, this is someone who wants to literally plant seed with you. So that's really, really beautiful, right? Those of you guys who are dealing with fire or water, there may need some communication that needs to be happening so that you guys are on the same page moving forward. And you might find that you guys have always been on the same page, but maybe they just weren't great at communicating that. Now, what's interesting is you got that Three of Swords at the end, right? Three of Swords is a disappointment. Sometimes it is a heartbreak. Sometimes it is someone lying. Sometimes it is something. Now, I'm not going to lie. You got the Tower card that came out with it first, right? So Tower card, this is when things like the spot is blown up in order to reveal something, right? Or this is like, you've been building that Jenga set and everything, but like, did you realize that this block is not level, so it's gonna fall down, so let's just knock it over now anyways. It almost feels like this month, through the communication that you have with your lover or something to that effect, there may be some truths or some certain things that are coming out, and it might be a little disappointing at first, not gonna lie. That Three of Swords, this could be a lie that's being exposed. This could be like someone being honest with you about how they feel and how they see your relationship going, and maybe it's not exactly how you saw it going. But what I do feel like is it's like this tower is necessary in order to plant the right kind of seed. Ace of Earth. I don't necessarily feel like it's a breakup with someone, although for some of you guys it will be, but it really feels more like it is necessary. There's something that's going to be happening this month that's necessary in order to move forward in a great way with this situation that you're already in, right? You got Ace of Earth or Ace of Pentacles twice, which I love to see because we're talking about security, stability, all those things. So there is almost like this unearthing that has to happen in order for the right seed to be planted. Now, again, this can show up in your relationship. This can also show up like in terms of like maybe even your health, right? Mars has a lot to do with how we assert ourselves. It's how we take action. It's how we get things going. It also has a lot to do with our libido. So maybe it could have something to do with that in a sense. But it feels like there's something that's going to happen this month that, it may not feel so great in the beginning, like the talk that you have to have, or like the realizations that you have or whatever may not feel so great in the beginning, but what it does is it sets you up for a better new beginning, right? Aces are potential. So potential for more stability, potential for more money, even potential for more security. Yeah. Now, you've also got mural, which is be your own first priority. So whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you have kids or not, no matter what your situation is, you have to put you first, right? Because if you don't fill your own cup, if you aren't taking care of your own shit, then you really have nothing to offer anybody else. So this is just about being mindful about making sure that you are looking out for yourself and not just others that you love. And as you do that, as you put yourself first, as you think, focus on your daily routines, as you focus on the things that you watch or read or eat or whatever, you really, it's an act of love. You're really doing yourself a favor. Now you got take a divinely guided chance. It says all positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk. And you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Take a chance. You got good luck here. You got good things here. You got that Page of Wands here. So again, even if there is friction this month, I have no doubt that you have the ability to work it out, talk it through, whatever. Some of you guys, this might just require cutting out some things. Of course, it's going to be different for each person, but there's definitely going to be something that's addressed this month. Especially if it has to do with a relationship, especially if you're dealing with water or fire. But even that, even if there's friction, even if there's argument that ensues at first, I just feel like things definitely have the potential to get better and mend themselves. It says, treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. I love this card because, well, first of all, I've never even picked it before, so I love it. It's cute. It has the hands that's holding like this woman and her child. This might be also a message to some of you guys, like really paying attention to home matters, your children. Pages are children, especially if a child who's a fire sign possibly. But treasure your loved ones. This is about making sure that people know that you love them and that you care for them, right? We don't tell people that enough. We don't show that enough. And so if people are important to you, it's important that they know that, right? Just like it's important that you know that you're important to other people. And if this is a thing, like maybe like, I don't know why, but like, let's say you're in a relationship and you feel like you are showing this other person how much you care and maybe they're not being as loving in the ways that you need or the ways that you're able to pick up on. This doesn't mean that you do a tit for tat and, oh, I'm gonna treat you how you're treating me. No, what this means is you pull up that Queen of Swords, you have a conversation about it. And if they can't, then you take your love elsewhere, but there's no need to be petty, right? And just making sure that you always let people know that you love them and not making a game of it, okay? And then you got the presence of love will always cast out fear. Yeah, so if you guys are kind of being a little bit more mindful about that and like saying your feelings and stuff, it feels like it's something like you're scared to put yourself out there because in fear that maybe it won't be reciprocated or respected. But that's not really the reason why we're supposed to love people and why we're supposed to put it out there. It's not because it has nothing to do with how they feel, you know? We're supposed to love regardless, and it doesn't really matter what's going on with other people. So again, if you feel like you're in a situation where you're not being appreciated, it's time to have a conversation about it. And if there's nothing that you guys feel like you can figure out to get to that, to get to the next level, then it's okay to leave people where they're at. But you still want to, you don't want to change who you are. You still want to move in love no matter what. So, but for most of you, I feel like this is an opportunity actually to bring you closer to your loved one and make you guys actually a lot stronger with communication, okay? So I love you. I hope that this worked out or resonated for you. I hope that everything works out for you. If you'd like a personal reading, you can reach out to me at shesbybetarot@gmail.com. Go to my About tab, look at the menu of services and pricing first. If you want to schedule your own reading, you could do that there. There's a link provided. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Libra.